friends, it's me, Miss Kylie, and I know some of you are probably thinking, what in the world is going on? Because we were at school yesterday, having fun, everything was fine, and now we're at home, and we don't get to go back to school, and everything is just so confusing. So if you feel a little confused right now, that's okay. I do too. We're gonna get through it together. But until we can go back to school and play safely, we are going to have videos and our virtual classroom, and we're just gonna stay home and be super, super safe, and then we'll get to come back to school and play with each other. So, without further ado, let's get into what we're gonna talk about today. So yesterday we had a discussion about neighborhoods and what is inside of a neighborhood, who lives in a neighborhood, what different jobs are in our neighborhoods. And yesterday we read a book about Mr. Gilly. Remember the trash truck driver? And he dumped it in, smashed it down, and he drove around the trashy town. Today we are going to talk about all kinds of different jobs. And we have a book called Career Day. And in this book, there are all kinds of different jobs that we're going to talk about. But before we get started on our story about jobs, we have a question. And the question today says, which job would you most like to do? Would you like to be a police officer, a firefighter, or a garbage collector? I think I'd probably choose garbage collector, but only if I'm the one that gets to drive the truck. I don't want to be the one that puts the trash in the back of the truck, but I think it would be super fun to drive a big garbage truck around all the different neighborhoods and see all the houses. And anyway, that's what I would choose. So I'm curious, which one would you choose? The options are endless. Okay, now that that's out of the way, Career Day. You may already know some of the jobs that are in here, and that's okay. But there might be some that you don't know about yet. So I'm interested to see what kind of jobs are in the Career Day book. Career Day. Story by Anne Rockwell. Pictures by Lizzie Rockwell. When special visitors come to our school, they tell us about the work they do. Then we tell them about the work we do. Today, it's my turn to introduce my visitor. What if I forget what I'm supposed to say? Sometimes that happens. Not just to me, Miss Madoff says, but to everyone. Here he is, right on time. This is my dad, I say. He drives a big bulldozer. He's helping build our new library. Good morning, Mr. Lopez, everyone says. Good morning, boys and girls, my dad says. Next, we meet Charlie's visitor. His mother is a judge who works in a courtroom and wears a long black robe. If there's too much noise, she pounds her gavel and says, "Order in the court." Then everyone has to be quiet. When Kate introduces her visitor, she says, "My dad plays bass in an orchestra at night. He practices all day and takes care of my baby brother while our mother goes to work at the bank." Machiko's mother writes books for us to read. She draws the pictures in them too. She is very good at drawing mice. Miss Madoff's visitor is her husband. He is a scientist called a paleontologist. He just got back from South America, where he was digging for dinosaur bones. The bones tell us about dinosaurs that lived long ago. Sarah's visitor is our crossing guard. She brings Sarah to school every day because she's also Sarah's grandmother. That's why Sarah is always the first one at school and the last one to go home in the afternoon. Evelyn's mother is a nurse in the hospital. She takes care of all the newborn babies in her town. She tells us those babies are very, very cute, but they sure do cry a lot when they're hungry. Jessica's mother takes care of animals. She's a veterinarian, the kind of doctor who makes sick animals better. Sam's visitor drives the sanitation truck that carries our garbage to the big town dump. Kate and Evelyn and I wave to him, just as we always do whenever he comes down our street. "Hey kids, remember to recycle," Sam's father says. Evan's father wears a leather apron that holds the tools he uses all the time. He shows us how to hammer a nail. When it's time for Nicholas to introduce his visitor, he says, I bet you've all bought groceries at the Friendly Farm Market. Guess what? My father is the manager of the store. Today, it's Mr. Cisco's turn to introduce his special visitor. He says, "Good morning, everyone. I'd like you to meet Professor Alcorn. He's my teacher at college." Hey, I never knew grown-ups had teachers too. Grown-ups sure have interesting work to do, and so do we. I wonder what I'll be when I grow up. The end. Yay! I really enjoyed reading that book because I like learning about all the different jobs, and there were so many jobs in that book that I'm curious which one was your favorite. I'll tell you mine. My favorite job in the book that we talked about was the paleontologist. And if you remember, a paleontologist, that's a real one right there. A paleontologist is someone that goes to all these different sites and uses their special tools and digs up dinosaur bones. And from those dinosaur bones, you and I get to learn about what kind of food dinosaurs ate, what kinds of different dinosaurs there even were, maybe even the size of their teeth, other sizes of their shoulders. We can learn so much about that. So paleontologists are really important so that we can continue to learn about things that don't exist anymore. Something that I noticed in this book is that every job had a different type of attire or clothing that they had to wear to work, like the judge. Remember, she said that the judge has to wear a long black robe and she has a gavel, and that's her work attire. And here's a paleontologist we talked about earlier. I noticed he has work boots on because he's in the dirt, and he's got a sun hat on to make sure he doesn't get a sunburn, or probably like not get super hot on his head because the sun is beating down on him. And then he has all of his tools and he's digging up the bones. And then another person that was wearing a certain uniform for their job was the crossing guard. And it looks like she has on bright yellow boots, pants, jacket, and an orange vest and a yellow hat. And if you're wondering why she has to wear yellow all over the place, it's probably so that the cars that are driving by can actually see her and not hit her by accident. And then that way they'll stop. She has a stop sign. They'll stop. And then everyone that's needing to cross the street can cross. Well, friends, that was all that I had for today, but I will be back later this week and we are gonna learn all about garbage. Where does the garbage go? I don't know. We're gonna investigate it, and we'll probably learn a little bit about recycling. Hopefully you guys are staying safe. If you have to leave your house for something like the grocery store or going somewhere with mommy and daddy, make sure you bring your face mask with you and you wear it over your nose holes, and your mouth hole. It's super important that you wear your masks because that is how we can help the doctors and nurses that are working so hard to make sure that all of us stay healthy. By wearing your face mask, you are helping all of the doctors and nurses who need us more than ever to do just that so that the hospitals can stay safe. So, I will see you guys later this week, and I hope that you have a lovely, happy, sunshiny day. Bye!